have started without you. I had company, so didn't want to have the cameras on when I had people in here, but just taking the carburetor off. I was checking in here to make sure I didn't leave a rag or anything in here, because it wasn't firing on the front cylinder, and I'm pretty sure these are the original gaskets here. Pretty old. There's even a crack in this one, and I got to take the intake manifold off to change the other two. It's pretty hard to get at. There's 4 Allen heads. These 2 aren't too bad to get at, but the other sides are so tight. I'm undoing the crankcase bolt to push it through, because that's holding the horn bracket on, and that's what I'm doing now. Bracket keeps coming out as I hammer through. Yeah. Hard to see from here, but the best way to replace the gaskets on your intake manifold is to remove the tanks. You know, the tank should be removed. That's the way you do it. But I'm doing it this way. I always tend to do the hard thing the hard way. So I broke them free with the Allen wrench here. This is 1/4 inch Allen wrench. I broke both of these bolts free, and I can't get a full swing. I've loosened this off so I could bend it out a little bit without. I'm trying to do this without taking the tanks off. And then I've cut down a short one. Had another Allen wrench. I cut down short so I can get in there and turn it a little bit more. And then what I do is I spray some this penetrating oil on the threads, turn it a little more, and then I wiggle it, and I just keep wiggling it back and forth until this thing's just right loose. So, because it's all, you know, it's never been off since this bike was made 20 years ago, so it's seized in there pretty good. But by spraying some penetrating oil, wiggling it back and forth, you get it nice and loose. And I don't know, let's see if we can. I'm gonna reverse this. And I think they're loose enough now. It's gonna be easier for it to get back on and to get it out. I think I got them loose enough. I just a couple turns, all you need. I'm hoping. Okay, what do I need here? Maybe I'll loosen it a little bit more. Just a half a turn more. Then when I get the manifold right out, I can take those bolts out and clean the threads up a little bit better, loop them up so they go in nice. Yeah, those are pretty loose there now. Okay, it should come out. Oh. This is the one that I'm suspecting was leaking. It's all like gone calcified and white and hard in here. Yeah, it's pretty dried out and hard. These are probably original. Maybe they've been changed once before, I don't know. But this one's really dried out. Yeah, really pretty bad shape. All the carbon's built up on it. Huh. Okay, let me clean these all up. That goes there, that goes there. If I ever take those heads off, I'll clean those ports up. Okay. I'm just scraping the surfaces off. Any of the, put that in the hole. Spray a little brake cleaner on it. Oh, look at all the crap out here. Just make sure we get a good smooth surface to work with here. Here's new gaskets. These are from Comet. So, yeah, this goes like this, and this goes like this, slot at the back, and this goes like this, but I think I'm going to put a little smidgen of grease on there, maybe. Just so it slips on and seals a little bit better. I don't know if guys put RTV stuff on there. I guess you could do that too to make sure you got a good seal. I'm just going to try just a smidgen of grease. Synthetic grease, they can take high temperature. And just a little dab. I'd rather put the dab right on the metal. Just so that gasket will seal on there a little bit better. Slide on a little bit better. There is a left and right. Get a really thin wall here, thicker wall here. This has to always go in. So there is a left and right. So now the gasket fits on flush. I don't know if they have a marking on them or anything, maybe. I should have paid better attention to that when I took it off. There's a little marking on the clamp right there. This has got an F, and the other one has an R, front and rear. I mean, I'm just putting just a smidgen on there, just nothing, because this engine's hot. It's just gonna burn off. Just putting just a smidgen on there. See, that's when you want those screws over there nice and loose. That's why I took them out, cleaned them up, so you could loosen them up. Spin them on a little easier. I'm going to clean these two up as well. They're Loctited in, probably from the factory, and probably supposed to be Loctite on them. That's probably what the manual says. I haven't read it or looked at it yet, but I'm not. I'm not gonna. I'll make sure they're nice and snug and tight, and keep an eye on them. It's a lot easier to get them off and on. Snug them up on the other side. It'd be a lot better if I had this out of here, but you got to take the tanks off to get that off. See, now I can turn those with my fingers now that I've lubed them up, cleaned them up. Just a light penetrating oil on them. this thing pivots up and down a little bit, so I want to kind of make sure I got it in the right area there. Get down there. Get down there. Just a dry fit here. That's how that's going to be. Should be up like that. This is probably the most important part, you know, getting a good seal on here and getting it square. Because you don't want to take this all off again. And this is where all your problems are going to be. Now I'm going to snug up. I kind of try to do both sides at the same time. A little bit here and there. Okay. That FXR, I've got to do that one too. But it's got an S&S carb on it, and I think it's got an S&S intake on it. So I got to check that. If you did put Loctite on, I would put blue on it, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna put this nice and tight. That's about how tight it was when I got it. Slipped off on me. You don't want to fuck up those Allen heads or you'll be chiseling them off. There, we got it in there pretty good now. That's tight. I'll just go over and do the other side. assembly time. I know these go pretty parallel with the cylinders. I'll do that in a minute. First thing's cables. Which is which. This is the pull cable. So pull cable is going to go on this side. Now before I took this off, I loosened off the up here at the handlebars. Up there, I loosened off the cables all the way. Here, up here, that goes in there. But first I gotta get the other cable in. So this is gonna go like this. This is the trickiest part, probably getting the cables back in and right. That and those two back bolts. You can't see in the camera here, but I just turned the throttle backwards a little bit so that would go in a little easier. Take the slack out up here. Otherwise I got the cable so loose they're just going to fall out. Hose and the throttle down there, and that's going to go over there. I'm just going to put them tight for now, just to get the slack out of them there. If you just turn the thumb screws up here tight to get the slack out of them, then it won't fall off on you when you're doing this crap. Then you can adjust it later. Okay. So That goes like that. I didn't get that air hose on the back. I'll do that from the other side. And just want to see where these two holes line up here. I guess I can tighten these up after. I'll get these bolts in first. And the gasket, which I need a new one. Try this again. As long as it doesn't interfere with the filter. Yep. Just snug those. You don't crank on those at all, just snug them. Everything's tight here. got to button up everything on the other side, the horn, hoses, choke, and adjust the throttle. Just snug, so it doesn't rattle. Okay, now the other side. Okay. First thing, most important thing, is to get that vacuum line back on. That sucks air. We're screwed. And that's to the vacuum module, ignition module. Not going to see that. You're not going to see shit, so. That sucker off. It's a good, if it had better light, you'd see it, but you just pinch the cable with this, that air, the vacuum line, and you can push it straight on. It's a snug fit. Okay, so now put the choke back in here. This slot here. Grab the wrong, here it is here. The fuel line goes under the choke cable and under the vacuum line. That's what screwed me up there a little bit, but I was able to push it out the other way and then reroute it without taking anything apart. That's tight enough. Let's put this thing on. Oh, put the horn back on. There's the connection there for the horn. There's the ground. A lot of glare from this light. How's that? A little better? There. I know this thing's gonna sump oil when I start it. A little bit. Choke on. Turned on reserve. So let me put a catch bucket underneath it. I got everything on there. I put this together and it's pissing fuel, so I pulled the float bowl off, and there was a little bit of sediment in there, like black sediment, almost looks like black carbon sandblaster sand, like that kind of stuff. A couple little pieces of that in there. I don't know how. Out of that tank, I guess. There's no inline filter in this one. I probably should put one in. Probably will. But then I put it together and I'm noticing here, like I wiped this off, this fitting here. And this fitting's leaking. Oh, no, yeah, sure, I put the camera on, it won't leak. I'll turn the gas back on. Well, you can see it, it's starting to weep. Okay, one sec here. Put the gas up to there. There, you can see that it's wet already. I'm just trying to determine if it's from up here or if this fitting's cracked or if it's leaking out of the bottom there. To me, I think there's a crack right there. Feels like there's a crack there. I don't even know if you can replace those. A sec here. Yeah, it looks like this is broken right here. So, not going nowhere today. I don't know if that's pressed in or what, but that, to me, that's broken. Let me look up the parts manual and see what's going on there. There's always something. Okay, that's it for now. Well, I checked into this fitting, and this is a pretty common occurrence of them drying out and cracking and breaking. So I ordered one, and this plastic elbow is pressed onto a brass fitting coming out. Maybe it comes out 1/8 of an inch or so, 3/16, and I have to press that out. So I'll do that. So the carb's going to have to come off again to fix that elbow. I ordered this elbow already. Should be in a couple days. Well, today's Sunday, so probably won't be until Wednesday. And but what I want to do is I'm going to put the plate back on, bolt it all up, and just see if it's going to fire on both cylinders now. May as well do that while I'm at this point. So I'm going to have to do another video just on replacing that elbow. Oh, look at my dog. He's looking for a place to take a crap. I know he is. What are you doing? He starts running in circles. I know he's looking for some place. Crazy dog. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bolt the wherever it is. Where the hell is it? Underneath there? Oh, it's right on top there. Bolt that plate back on, and I'll see if the bike fires up. I just want to get the thing to run on 2 cylinders, and then I'm going to change the oil filter and the oil and everything, because it's a little bit low right now because it's been sumping. I've been pouring a little bit in, and the oil's pretty dirty, but I'd like to get it running and warmed up a little bit, and then change all that. So that's my plans for today. We'll put her back together and see if it's going to fire up. Get out of here! Vicious dog. Getting all dirty. You're getting all dirty in there. Where's my broom? Where's my little broom? Hey. Give me that. Trying to rip it apart. Come on, give me that. Still pretty oily. Working too good. I got that rig. Got your rig. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay. Let's see if this bike. Don't know. I don't know. I know she's probably gonna sump some oil. Make sure there's some oil in it. Yeah, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. It's so low in oil, I gotta pour more in. I hate pouring more oil into it. I gotta add some more oil to it. Fuel's on. Better when it's I had the linkage off. Should have known that the green light wasn't on. No, one cylinder. See, she's sumping. I got a new coil. Might have to put that in. I can't remember if I did a compression check on this bike or not. I think I just did it with my thumb and it just blew my thumb right off, so. Yeah. Back to the drawing board. These are brand new plugs. And you can see this is the rear cylinder here. It's carboned up, blacked up. I've been running it on the choke. And the front cylinder's got a little bit of black there. I put the spark plugs in the boots. I'm getting spark on both of them. maybe not good enough spark on the front one. I don't know. I do have a spare coil I'm going to put in there, a brand new one. And next thing's compression check. Let's do that. Sounds good, feels good. Let's see what the rear cylinder is. It's running on the rear cylinder. Okay. I don't like to run these electronic ignitions without them going to ground, so I put the plugs in and just lay them in there. Used to be in the old days you could burn up your CDIs if you didn't have these things sparking out. Let me turn that fuel off. First thing I do is turn that fuel off. Should be dripping over there. Okay, let's see what kind of compression we got here. Open the throttle wide open. I didn't even adjust those cables yet. Yeah, let me just adjust those cables a little bit. Too tight. There we go. I don't want to turn it too much. Squirt fuel in there. Okay. And open the throttle wide open. About 125. I thought it would have been better than that. It's like 124. I don't want to cross thread the threads. Take my time getting it in there. Yeah, I was really hoping for that to be up to 140, but let's see what this one is. Maybe that's my problem. Open the throttle up. Let's see where I got the spark plug. Put that spark plug there. That one's there. Open the throttle up. $125, 126. That's good. That's good. I don't have to take the cylinders apart. The only thing left is coil. It's the only thing left. I replaced the ignition module and the pickup. You can't put that thing on 180 degrees out or anything like that. It's a wasted spark ignition. It's getting fuel. Got to pull the tanks off. I got a new coil I'm going to put in there. Sometimes I'm a big dummy. It's really hard to see those the little switches in there. There's 6 switches for the timing of that ultra ignition system. They're all in one ignition system. And I'm looking at it, and it's just like a little toggle switch in there. You got to use like a little pin to move it up and down. And I'm looking at it, and I thought they were all on off, and they're all on. And if that's the case, then it was set for switch number 6 is dual fire or single fire, and it was on, so it was set for single fire. So I just switched them all to the on position. Like sometimes I'm just fucking stupid. I'm gonna try it now. I got a feeling it's gonna fire right up. Oh my God. I thought, and I watched some other videos, and I thought from the factory they all come off because that's a standard setting. Like it would run on any bike on all off, but they're all turned to the on position. I'm pretty sure. Let's try it. My back still killing me. Let's try it. Turn the fuel on. Over in the knee choke. LED light flicking red there. So let it get warm. Let it get warm and then I can change the oil and everything. Yeah, it's pissing gas out that cracked elbow there. I was going to take it for a little spin, but it's dripping pretty good. Shut my furnace off. So much carbon monoxide in here. She runs, a first bike that runs. Oh my God, that's just the beginning. More to come.